I welcome you to today's class. I am Mr. DB AO, and today we shall continue our lesson on business enterprises. Remember, we are still talking about private business enterprises. We have discussed about sole proprietorship. We have discussed about partnership. So today we'll move further by discussing limited liability companies. Let's look at the objectives of the lesson. By the end of the lesson, students should be able to explain the meaning of companies, explain types of companies, explain the types of limited liability companies, identify the similarities between private limited liability company and public limited liability company. So, now definition of company. A company may be defined as a legal person created by the association of a number of people in accordance to the law for the purpose of pooling their capital together in order to set up business ventures. So, this is the main difference between sole proprietorship, partnership, and a company. A company is a legal person. Remember, we said sole proprietorship is not a legal entity, partnership is not a legal entity, but a company is a legal entity because it has to go through a lot of legal process before it can be established. And two or more people come together, at least two or more people come together, they put their capital together to set up the business venture. So that's one of the main differences between a company and sole proprietorship and partnership. Now let's move to types of companies. We have unlimited liability companies, limited liability companies. We have talked about liability all this while, and I told you that liability means debt. So when we have say unlimited, it means the debt of the company is not limited to the amount of capital contributed or the amount of money contributed. So in the case of liquidation, the firm or the members of such company will lose their share, which is their capital, and also some of their properties. So in this type of company, the liability of a member is limitless and may be liable to the full amount of the company's debt in the event of liquidation. So it means each member is liable to pay to lose their capital and also some of their properties. Now let's look at number 2. Limited liability company. From the word limited, it means the liability of the member is limited to the amount of share contributed in the case of liquidation. It means the members will only lose their money or their shares, but they will not lose their other aspects or their properties. So let's look at, we have type of companies under limited liability companies. So here we have companies limited by guarantee. A very good example of this is cooperative societies. These are not formed with the aim of engaging in trading activities or making profit, but are formed by societies and other charitable contributions from members to promote the interest and their profession. So here they are not centered on business or making profit, but they are gathered together to help their business and to protect the interests of the members. Another example is trade association, chamber of commerce. All these ones, they come together not for trading, but to protect the interests of their business. Then we have companies limited by shares. These are companies in which the liability of the shareholders are limited. Remember we have talked about limited companies or limited liability. So in this place, the shares of the members or the shareholders are limited to the value of their shares. It means they can only lose their shares. Their loss in the case of liquidation cannot go beyond the shares. And what do we call share? A unit of individual capital in a company. We will discuss that later when we go further. So let's go to types of limited liability companies. We have two main types of limited liability company. The first is called private limited liability company, while the second is called public limited liability company. What do we call private? Private is personal. while public is for everybody. So from here we have private limited liability company. This is defined as one which its article restricts the right to transfer shares, limit the number of its shareholders from 2 to 50, prohibit any invitation to the public to subscribe to its shares, and the name must end with limited, e.g. Godson Limited. So what I was saying, these are the basic attributes or the basic character of a private limited liability company. We have about 4 or 5 in this place. We said they cannot transfer shares. So the transferring of shares is done within the members of the firm or the company. Number 2, the numbers of shareholders cannot go beyond 50 and below 2. So it means 2 to 50 people can start a private limited liability company. Another one we saw in this definition is that they cannot invite the public to subscribe, that is to buy its shares. A private limited liability company cannot invite the public to buy its shares. And the last one we have in this place is that the name must end with limited. The name must end with limited. It means there's limitation to the number of people, there's limitation to their business enterprise. So that's what we call private limited liability company. Now, the next one we have is public limited liability company. Now, it is the opposite of private limited liability company. In public limited liability company, they can transfer shares from one person to another. There's no strict restriction. So it means one shareholder can transfer shares to another shareholder. Then we also have they must have minimum of 7, but no maximum number. So they can the number of people that can start a public limited liability company, they are 7, the minimum of 7, and the maximum is unlimited. It means everybody can participate because we call it public. So it also allows invitation to the public to subscribe to its shares. So it means the number of shareholders go beyond the number of people that start it or that formed it or that established it. We can have several people in several places. We have people having shares, like in Zenith Bank, in First Bank, we have people having shares. So it is not restricted to certain number of people. So then we say the name must end with PLC. What is the name of PLC? Public Limited Company. And very good example is Zenith Bank PLC. Any company that ends with the name PLC, First Bank PLC, UBA PLC, GTB Bank PLC, all these companies are public limited liability companies. The number of shareholders exceeds, that start from 7, and they are what? Unlimited. So these are the differences. So perhaps you are told to differentiate between a public liability limited company and private limited company. From this definition, you can see several differences. Like the private are not expected and are restricted from transferring shares, while the public can transfer shares. The private has minimum number of 2 and maximum number of 50, while the public has minimum number of 7 and no maximum number. The private cannot invite the public to subscribe to its shares, but the public can invite the public to subscribe to its shares. That's 3. Number 4, we also have the name of private limited liability company ends with what? Limited, while that of public limited liability company ends with what? PLC. These are the basic differences between private limited liability company and public limited liability company. Now let's move to the next objective that we have. Now, similarities between private limited company and public limited company. Despite their discrepancies, they still have some things in common. 1, both companies are legal entities. They can sue and be sued. So both companies have limited liability. So it means in case of liquidation, only the members or the shareholders can only lose their capital. 3, there exists continuity in both companies. So the death of one shareholder cannot put an end to the business. Both companies are capable of pulling large capital together to set up a business. So it means this one brings its own capital, this one brings its own capital, this one contributes its own capital. At the end of the day, they have large capital to establish the business. In both companies, that's number 5, in both companies, management is done by a board of directors appointed by the shareholders. So it is not like the case of sole proprietorship that he is the one that managed the business, established the business, and managed the business, nor like partnership that all the partners are involved in running the business. But in this case, certain number of people are appointed, which are called board of directors, to manage the affairs of the company. And with this, we have come to the end of the lesson. Next week, by God's grace, we shall continue our discussion on company. Thank you for listening and have a nice day. Your question will be dropped in the class. Thank you.